Welcome back to America Talks Live. We're here with our good friend, Clarence McKee. Clarence is a political commentator and Newsmax contributor. He's also held several positions in the Reagan campaigns and administrations. Thanks for being here with us, Clarence.
My pleasure on a Friday.
Always great to see you.
Yes.
And we're really happy to bring in our next guest. On the phone with us right now is former Trump campaign manager Corey Lewandowski. Corey is also the author of the new book, Trump's Enemies Out, September of 2018. Corey, thanks for being with us.
Well, thank you for having me. Happy Friday.
Happy
Friday to you as well. So, Corey, first, let's talk about former House Speaker John Boehner and remarks that he made about the GOP while speaking at a policy conference. This happened in Michigan yesterday. Take a listen.
There is no Republican Party. There's a Trump Party. The Republican Party is kind of taking a nap somewhere.
Corey, is Boehner right? The GOP just asleep in the back seat while the president takes charge behind the wheel?
Well, look, I respect Speaker Boehner. I've known him a long, long time. But Donald Trump was not handed the Republican Party. He fought 16 very qualified individuals to take the Republican Party by storm, and now he's the president of the United States. And, my concern with what John is saying is I am certain John is not opposed to the work that this president has done on behalf of conservative values, including circuit court judges, including Neil Gorsuch, including cutting taxes. That is the mantra of the Republican Party. Maybe John's forgotten that a little bit.
Corey, one of my issues with what Boehner is doing is he sees the damage that established Republicans like Jeff Flake are doing, like John McCain did. All the dings are taken at this president. What was Boehner's end game here? What was his political end game?
Well, it's a great question. I don't know the answer to it, but when you look at some of the individuals who you just mentioned, and I pick out Jeff Flake as an example, he's voted with the president 86% of the time because this president's policies are helping America. You look at the unemployment rate, the new numbers today, 3.8%, historic. Unemployment for African Americans, historic. What is it from the policy side that these individuals take exception with the president? They have none. They don't like the fact that this president has gone against what people consider the norm, and he fights back against the mainstream media because these people are too afraid to do it.
Clarence, I see you nodding your head there.
Corey, I don't understand one thing, and I get your opinion on this. These establishment Republicans like Boehner, here you have the Speaker of their House today, or yesterday, coming out blasting the president on the tariffs. I do not know why they just can't keep their mouth shut and let the president do his thing. Do you agree?
I do agree because this president is putting America first. And what we have seen is Congress has failed to act for so long that when Donald Trump came to Washington, he is forcing them to do the things that this president campaigned on, which is saying a $500 billion deficit with China is unacceptable. And Congress is like, yeah, I guess that's right for a change. And this president is forcing them to do things that they haven't wanted to do because they have refused to put America first.
Well, Boehner did have some nice things to say about President Trump. Let's take a listen.
If you can peel away the noise and the tweets and all that, which is virtually impossible to do, but if you peel all this away from a Republican standpoint, the things that he's doing, by and large, are really good things.
What do you think he's referring to there, Corey?
Well, maybe he's referring to the first time in our lifetime that we have the opportunity to denuclearize the Korean Peninsula. Maybe he's referring to the fact that Donald Trump fulfilled the promise which every president preceding him did not fulfill, which is moving the embassy in Israel to where it's supposed to be. Maybe he's fulfilling the fact that the economy continues to grow, not at the 1.8, 1.9%, which was the new normal under Barack Obama, but at 3 and 3.5%. Maybe that's what John's talking about, but the American people are with this president because he is doing exactly what he said he was going to do, and that's a far cry from most politicians.
Corey, what Boehner is saying, though, I fundamentally disagree with. I don't want the president to stop tweeting. I think one of the biggest problems we had for many, many years, go back to George W. Bush's administration, where the press corps, we used to watch Helen Thomas, always sitting in the front row, insulting George Bush and his administration daily. I've always said that Donald Trump using Twitter is him taking a football and throwing it over the heads of the mainstream media while playing catch with America. Why does that scare the establishment so much? It's been such an effective strategy, tremendously effective. It won him in many respects, along with your strategies and others, won him the presidency.
Well, look, this president, because of the size of his social media accounts, 100 million plus people through all of the mediums, can bypass the mainstream media. And thank God, because just this week, he had to call out the New York Times. I was with the president on Tuesday night in Nashville, Tennessee, where the New York Times reported 1,000 people showed up. And what we know was there was 8,000 people in the arena. Can you imagine for a second if the president would have said there was 64,000 people in the arena when there was only 8,000, was off by a factor of 8? They would have taken him to task. But when the New York Times makes a mistake, the only way it gets fixed is when the president is forced to correct them through social media, and that is what is working, and that scares to death the establishment, because by and large, the establishment and the media have been in bed together for a long time.
Corey, we are running out of time, but we know you have just written and released a new book, Trump's Enemies, out September 2018. Looking forward to this book. Real quickly, if you were going to describe this book using one word, what would that word be?
2 words, deep state.
All right, fair enough.
Great way to end it. Corey, thanks so much for your time today. Great talking to you.
Thank you.
Newsmax TV. Watch us on Dish, DirecTV, AT&T Uverse, Verizon Fios, or download our free app. Don't have Newsmax TV? Call your local cable provider and request Newsmax today.